Hello everyone, my name is John Michael Bushman and welcome back to Hearthstone. And, well, I always do say that Druid is the cheat code class, and I managed to prove it with this very deck you see before you. This entire deck's game plan is built around getting as many beat sticks on the board as possible and hope you win from there. Otherwise, well, you just pack it up and move on to the next game. I would go over the card by card, but this entire deck is just nearly oops all legendaries. I have tried builds where it's just, all minions. It's just not possible in Druid. I mean, you have access to ramp. I mean, why wouldn't you ramp? And this deck is also very mana hungry, so there is that. I already told you the main game plan. Just go face, and let's just see what the slot machines have in store for us, because it's built around this minion right here, Sky Mother Aviana. I have been interested in this card ever since I first started playing Hearthstone, and I thought, it's not exactly competitive. It's not exactly a competitive card, but well, if you're gonna put it in jank, and I did spend the 1600 dust for this. Good God, it's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's 10 copies of Leroy Jenkins. Well, that never happens. Fortunately, there are some weird interactions that can and will happen if we do indeed get into it. Sky Mother Aviana is a whiz-bang toy. That's the lore of most of the stuff that comes out of Whizbang's workshop. And she shuffles 10 legendary minions into your deck, 10 random ones, excluding, of course, the stuff that usually get excluded, which are, I believe, the Titans and the Colossals. And, yeah, and they cost 1 mana. I mean, getting legendaries for 1 mana, that is something rogues can also do, but they do it, like, into your hand. Druid does it as well, but they shuffle it into your deck. This is literally the entire game plan. Just get random stuff into and out of your deck, and hope you win from there. The other minion that I actually just got him recently, and it's Ambassador Phelan here. And he is an interesting card, don't get me wrong, because I didn't buy him. I got him randomly from an achievement where it involves having the limbs of the Colossals to get a certain number, rather, of Colossal limbs to be destroyed, and I got him as a reward. And lo and behold, he works perfectly in this deck, and he tutors a minion type that you normally cannot get in Discover. Which is Colossals. And having Colossals just made this deck a whole lot more janky, and I love him for it. And he's also 4 mana 5/5, and Sky Mother Aviana is a 5 mana 5/5, so they're decent attackers as well. And the dream is to use Shattered Reflections on either of them, so that you can have even more of a party to go off of. And of course, the supporting cast is on top of all of the ramp that Druid is very well known to have. You have Sir Finley. This just as a way to draw the bottom of your deck, just in case they're at the bottom of your deck, which is usually what happens. A lot of the stuff that Aviana shuffles, at least in my experience, they tend to go at the bottom of the deck. And of course, Phelan's Colossals, they are at the bottom of the deck, so you can get them immediately with Finley. Although Phelan's Colossals don't get discounted, so do keep that in mind before you do this. No need to worry, old chums. I have them up right here. It says to go continue going straight down. You're already upside down, Finley. Good God. Then Xavius as a way to quote-unquote find your various minions in the deck. There's only like at least in the main deck, there are only a handful of them. But once you start shuffling stuff in and out, it's gonna get insane. And Guff, of course, Guff. Bob the Bartender. Is just a card that you can get for free, but just by opening the Great Dark Beyond. Don't be intimidated by the number of legendaries in this deck. Some of them you can get for free, and especially Marin and Bob the Bartender. You can also get Ysera, but I have the diamond here because I bought the battle pass. You can get her for free just by logging into the game and or opening, I believe, an Emerald Dream Pack. You just get her for free. Everything else, I mean, Heart, I think as well, you get him for free. So again, don't be too intimidated by the legendaries. Some of them you just get them for free. So there is that. And yeah, just everything else in here, it's removal and or control tools just to stall the game long enough so that you can get your legendaries in. Nomelia is more of a last minute addition, but she is a pseudo board wipe alongside the Ceaseless Expanse and Poison Seeds. Everything else just adds random stuff or gives you copies of random stuff. So and of course there's a bunch of card draw in here and whatnot. This deck tech is going to be extremely scuffed, but that's exactly what a part in Aviana's treehouse is going to look like. So without further ado, let's hop into these games.
Malfurion versus
up against a fellow druid, so this is going to be interesting. What you would do with this deck is you would prefer to open with your ramp, and Nourish can be ramp, but more often than not it's used for card draw. And this is an insane opening hand, but it's oops all ramp, so it's not too good. But I just hope that our next draw is going to be something that's just far more impactful than this. So we get our effects down, and ooh, we have a turn 3 play here. But we're just gonna smack my opponent's face. And then we hit him with a greeting, and they thought us Ethiel. Hello there, opponent. I'm gonna see if my settings are like Gucci. Yes, indeed they are. Let me just finagle the numbers a little. Sometimes Hearthstone does that when you Alt-Tab with Hearthstone up while it's doing certain actions. The game tends to default into the highest possible settings, and unfortunately my laptop cannot handle the highest possible settings that this game has. Opponent, by the way, is playing Imbue Druid, and they are taking their sweet time, but either that or, this is a casual room. Sometimes your opponents will just go AFK if they don't open with the hand that they want, or if your opponent, or if the opponent manages to do something and you don't, so that's just the danger in the casual rooms. Sometimes you don't get to showcase the thing that you want to show as a content creator, but they do just play a 1-1, so we're just gonna ramp and play Wild Heart Guff on turn 3 and use him as a card draw, or use him as a ramp spell, because we're gonna use Nourish as card draw. So the thing about this deck in particular, you need to play cards in a certain sequence, or else you will lose the stuff that you have. So do keep that in mind. For example, if you play Hearthstone Brew, and you still have stuff in hand that you would rather cast, you're gonna lose them, and there's absolutely no way to get it back. So do keep that in mind. And you're only at 30 health, so you don't exactly have a lot of time to work with, but at the very least, at least you get to show your opponent, hey, I do all this shit. Opponent summoned a pretty goddamn insane 5-drop there, so do I want to contest that? I don't think I want to. We're just going to play Marin, get one of his treasures. We're going to draw cards that way. More often than not, what most people would do in Marin these days is you get the crown instead, but at least in this deck in particular, I prefer to get the card draw one because it's card draw. There isn't exactly a lot of card draw in this particular build of the deck. There's only like Nourish and Sir Finley, and then of course Invigorate if you don't need the ramp anymore. Dark Arakoa. I almost read that as Arakakra, but I don't. Oh my god, it is a bird creature, so it is an offshoot Arakakra. So we're gonna play the Amir Drasil here. And once the game loads, yeah, there we go. This card is so goddamn good. Good thing I bought the bundle. Saved me a lot of dust. And this is literally the only survivor left of that bundle because it's such a good card. So we're gonna use Marin to attack into the 5/5 because, good god. Then we're gonna draw a couple. Let's see what we get. We got Nourish, we got Naturalize, and we got a Wild Growth. These are all Gucci. Gonna destroy the blocker. There we go. And then because Guff is up, we're gonna gain 2 mana crystals so that we gain back what we lost, and then we'll gain 1 more. Let's see what we get. Off the card draw for Amir Drasil, we got Bob the Bartender. Bob the Bartender, he can fix it. Your drink, yes. Let's see what my fellow druid opponent has for me. I hope it's something good. I mean, Imbue Druid literally needs to grasp at straws in order to get the nature spells that count. So, and I believe they're built more around the Treants. 3 Druid is still a thing every once in a while, and it will kick your ass if you're wholly unprepared for it. They can win in about turn 4 to 5, especially if the cards line up right. And with the Imbue package these days, they can and will kick your ass. So there is that. And there's also, like, at least at the time of me recording this video, there will be support for Token Druid in the upcoming set, Lost City of Ongoro. So there may be some experimentation coming up eventually. But they killed that poor little boy, and he did nothing wrong. We still have not found Aviana, so we either draw it with Bob the Bartender or we draw it with Nourish. So, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna Nourish first, then we'll use Bob and see what happens. Okay, we got a Wild Growth, we got a Hearthstone Brew, and we got an Invigorate. Those are all cards that I would rather not have, unfortunately. So we get Bob here. The minions are surprisingly sized. I would not want that. So let's see what minion we get. We got an Omelia. So we now have a board wipe at least, but I don't think I would want that at the moment. So I guess we ramp some more, and then we use Finley. No, I don't want to use Finley here because we need to get to Nomelia, and I think we have enough to survive until Nomelia, so we're gonna draw with Invigorate here. We got that, so we'll ramp even more, but it will ramp my opponent as well. We'll draw one card, let's see what we get. We got a Poison Seed, so now we have like 5 board wipes in our hand. Oh, what the fuck is this deck? Oh my god. Sometimes you get draws like this. I mean, then again, I don't have too much card draw in here, so that's to be expected. I'm dead if my opponent has a direct damage spell, but again, this is wishing for a win, so I just play and I hope I win. Sign of Weakness, playing Hamul Rune Totem, similar to Renethal. Start of game cards are generally just vanillas once the game has actually already begun. Okay, just using the 1 and then just swinging to the others with me. That is completely fine. I think I'm going to use Nomelia to hit into Hamul so that everyone else will die, but that will leave Gorgonzormu behind, so I think I'll be fine with that. Her intro line is so cool.
Nailed it!
Do we do it again? I don't know if I wanna. We have 9 cards in it, so we'll overdraw once we have Amir Drasil running. So, I guess I should still use Nomelia here because we're down to 6, and we'll be. Actually, no. This only draw 2, so we'll not overdraw per se. Oh, we got a legendary for that one, so that's cool. We still have not found what we're looking for. Shit. So we'll get Xavius. Let's see who we shoot her for. Hopefully it's Aviana. Okay, we got Aviana. +2/+1 elusive though. That is nice. So we finally found our quote-unquote win con. Yes, fill the sky with a cascade of sparkles. This is why the original build that I had of this had due process in it, so that I won't have to worry about card draw anymore. But I tend to overdraw the legendaries that I want to play out, so I cut it from deck and replace it instead with Nourish. And it's also slightly more budget friendly. Because of, or rather, Nourish can also be ramped if I need it to be. So there's that. Those authors only have rush opponent. I don't think you're gonna kill me with that. So okay. Oh, why are you killing those poor little boys? They did nothing wrong. Come on. Could have just gone onto my face. Jesus. Miracle Growth. Okay, cool. It will be a 7/7, I think. Yes, it is. So I'll need to use Nomelia again. Probably twice in a row. Wait, no. I'm gonna use Poison Seeds, and then I'll use Nomelia. Yeah, that's what I'll do. But I think I'll need to clear the board first. And, actually, I should find a way to buff this guy up, because, he'll heal me for 2, so... Yeah, well, losing Zarog's crown is not nothing, but it's a crime. So, there's that. So, kill Gorgonzormu. There we go. And, well, now I don't need to use Nomelia, so there's that. I'll just, well, I still will use Nomelia, so that I can just clean the board. There we go. Then, nailed it indeed, Nomelia. There we go. Then we'll play Ysera. There we go. Then we will draw 1 card. Let's see what we get. We got Trogzor! There we go. We got Trogzor. He's apparently a well-known character within World of Warcraft. But sadly, I didn't play that game. So, I'll just let my, the nostalgia of older players, fill you in with the gaps on that one. But, I mean, they're under Trogzor, and, Imbue tends to have a lot of spells, so I will be getting a lot of 3/5s. that will eventually become 5/5s. Ooh, these are especially this one. Corridor Creeper was a menace back in the day. Good God. Wait, was it always a 2/5? Wasn't this a 5/5? Did they nerf this thing? What the hell? Well, my board is full, so I mean, I will be sacrificing a lot of my stuff to his minions on board, so I think it's just as well. And I have another Nomelia. Or I can use Poison Seeds on top of Nomelia. Okay, and they get domed anyway, so there's that. My Ceases Expanse is still in the deck, so we can still heal for nearly full. Sadly, we did not get that. What was the last spell they played? I don't quite remember. I guess we just swing everything in, gain a little bit of health from that, gain a little bit of health from this, then we get the Burly Rockjaws. We're gonna reduce the health of some of their minions by a smidge. Nomelia is 4 damage, so it will damage these two. Yeah, I think we should go with Nomelia here. There we go. And then, do I want to copy her? I actually want to copy her. There we go. So that, there we go. So we have a way to quite literally clean house. There we go. Thank you, Nomelia. Then we do this. So we have a taunt minion on board. I don't know what was the last spell they played. Nightshade Bud. Oh dear God, please get somebody. Okay, cool. Oh, we got Phelan. Hello. 8 cards in hand. I don't think I care about burning stuff away at this point. So there's that. We got a Sasquatch. Oh boy, naturalize. Okay, that's a good one to burn. So there's that. We have Phelan to put Colossus at the bottom of the deck, and all right, we're gonna see how far we go from here. Where did I get the Haunting Nightmare? I don't quite remember. There's so much stuff happening on screen. Oh my God. So that's 6. So 1 for each. Oh God, Greybow. All right. I know exactly what to do here, and it's not gonna be pretty. So we have that on. We have all that on board. So our job first is to get rid of all the scarabs, and then once all the scarabs are dead, we can safely dispose of Grandpa Greybow here. So we're gonna see what my opponent does. And by the way, Trogzor is doing fucking work, especially against a deck that casts a lot of spells. Like, good God. Trogzor is doing quite a lot here. Wrath, sure. I mean, 3 damage. Then my 2 other Burly Rockjaws will get bigger. I guess this is what Trump, the Hearthstone player, said way back when, that Trogzor is going to be a really good card. And he is doing work here. So we'll get one of them to kill one, then we'll do this to kill the other one. Then we'll do this for that, and we'll do this here, then this one here. Then we get the last copy of Nomelia we have. There we go. We'll swing in here. Then I'll deal 2 damage to that. And, did not expect to get this, well, to get shortened like this. Excuse me for a second. So, I guess we Poison Seeds it. Why is Phelan temporary? I don't quite remember what happened. I mean, if I lose him, that's fine, because I think I'll be winning this very soon. We just draw 1 card, and oh, we finally got Ceases Expanse. That is something. I mean, if I lose Phelan, so be it. Excuse me. Don't know why he's marked like that. It's probably a visual bug, but I don't know. I'll find out once we get to cast him. So we got Wild Growth and all of my Burly Rockjaws. Oh my God. So this is what Trump, the Hearthstone player, meant. Oh my God. Oh, he is not gonna. My opponent's not gonna be happy about this.
Are you my master?
I mean, I've actually been waiting for him to play Cthulhu, but I don't think it's gonna save him here. Oh my God. Sad that I burned away the. I believe that was my last naturalize, because I would have killed the other one. But okay, they killed Nomelia. which will cause him to kill Greba, which will then cause him to do the other things. But my opponent is pretty much dead. I don't want to BM him. I'll just kill him straight away unless he has a way to make a blocker here, but I don't think he can. So I'll just see you guys in the next game.
Malfurion versus Tyrande.
Up against Priest, so this is going to be very interesting. We got Aviana, so we got part of the plan. I should also aim to get Phelan, but if we don't get him, then at least we have Naturalized to at least mitigate whatever damage my opponent's going to be doing here, because I have faced off against my fair share of Shadow Priest in the casual rooms of all things. I don't know why they would be in the casual rooms, but if they are in the casual rooms, the Shadow Priest players that I do see around these parts, their lists tend to be a little spicier. So there is that. Biology Project is nice. So that means we have Aviana next turn. So there's that. And we'll try to do it again. I mean, my opponent's definitely not a bot, because who would bot a name like that? But let's see. Okay, they have something to coin out on turn 4, which is a 5-mana spell. Thaurissan, that is a kill on-site minion, unfortunately for you, opponent. So, I'm not going to make it stick. I'm not going to make him stick around any longer than he should. He's just going to die. There you go. Alright. So, draw your 2 cards. I don't care that he died. There is, by the way, a spell that will be coming out of Lost City of Ungoro. It's a 1-mana epic that nearly has the same line of text as Naturalize, except instead of your opponent drawing 2 cards, they get a random minion instead. So it's just a 1-mana draw 1. It is expensive because it's an epic, but I think it's going to be worth it. I will definitely try and experiment with it, because it's 1-mana destroy a minion. I mean, what more could you want? The only danger is if your opponent's minion becomes something like far more impactful than the one that you destroyed. So there is that danger, but I don't think you're gonna care. I'm just realizing my opponent is playing Highlander, because this deck, or rather Kazakus, can only really be seen if the deck has no duplicates. So okay then, opponent is playing Highlander of some kind. I'm assuming there's a Reno at the top of the curve, because that's usually how they go. After a friendly beast dies, get a random legendary beast from the past, costs 2 less. I don't think we need that in this exact situation, so we need to draw cards. We can still play Hemet, so we're gonna find a triple. Let's see who we get. Noz. That's a big-ass dragon, though. There we go. Deal with Noz. There we go. And this is the fixed Noz. I don't want the OG Nozdormu, because the one time that I faced off against a guy that had the OG Nozdormu, good god, the amount of stress I had to go through. Now the cards they played last turn. Sure. Now we're mirrored. What do you want? I don't think even Nomelia will save us here. Oh my god. So that into that. I don't think getting rid of Kazakus is going to do any help, and that is unfortunate. So, we're going to be in shitfuck territory here. At the very least, I think we should get rid of Kazakus. So, there is that. This is a 3-6, but it's not going to be helpful in this exact situation. So, we're just going to play the 2 other Nozdormus that we got. Hopefully, my opponent will be quaking in their boots with that one. I guess we also just play Hemet because we can. Then we ramp up, and then I think I'll only restore health next turn, because this is survivable, and I have bodies on board that can contest with my opponent's shenanigans. So we're gonna see. We are gonna see. Let's see what my opponent thinks about this. I do need card draw, and okay, to be expected, they just ignore my board and just go for my face. If they have direct damage here, which I highly doubt, because they're not Shadow Priest, they're probably just playing some value pile of some kind. But they haven't exactly shown too much yet. They've only like coupled, or rather, they've only like copied stuff here and there. And okay, Psychic Scream is not nothing, but it does set me back a little, just by a smidge. There's our card draw. There we go. Hey, Gov. Always happy to see you. Since we're down to 9, we're gonna see if we can get... Well, we didn't get it. Unfortunate. We're gonna get Ursoc here. Add a random spell, you say. And it's Inspire. But we're gonna do that next turn. We're gonna draw one card, see what we get. We got New Heights. Okay, cool. So we're gonna get Sarad. Then we're gonna use our hero power so that we get a random spell. I believe this is once per turn. Yeah, it's once per turn. Or is it once per turn? I don't quite remember anymore. Okay. Prophet Velen, sure. Novice Engineer is weird, but okay. Don't know what my opponent is doing now. Sir Finley, hello. So we get Sarad. We draw one card. Let's see what we get. We got Sage, Darkseer of the Moon. Draw mech. Reduce the cost of mechs in your hand by 1. I don't have any mechs, unfortunate. So let's just 3 mana, draw 1. Oh, we don't have a mech. Okay, cool. We draw 1 card with Sage. We don't have any secrets, so it is just 1 mana, draw 1. Pyros, hello. So we do that. And then, do I play Ursoc here? So we'll ramp a little, and then we play Ursoc. There we go. Alright, so bang, then bang, then bang, and then bang. There we go, he dies, and then he resurrects everything else to my side of the field. There we go. Alright, I'm not sure how advantageous or disadvantageous that is. Okay, again, typical, my opponent going for my face. That is definitely the right play. And do you have a direct damage spell? Holy shit! Let's move on to the next game.
Malfurion versus Uther.
Up against Paladin. So, oh boy, this is either aggro bullshit or aggro bullshit. There is absolutely no in between. There's a good opening hand. We have Phelan, which is the backup version of Aviana. So there is that. Can't believe I actually got him for free. I wasn't even like planning to get Phelan, but then I read his text. I'm like, wait, hold on. I can add him into the Aviana deck. But I will definitely just ramp and then probably draw a card next turn if nothing else happens. And then I also found out recently on how to, like, quote-unquote properly interact with the interactables on this stage. So you do that with those chains. And no, I know I don't have enough mana. Good God. So we'll get Thoras Ethel in here. And you actually have to hold this down so that it does its thing. There we go. Then everything else is just rapidly click. And then there we go. That there. And this one here. And this one also here. And then do this. Get rid of a tile. Bounce that glass around. And then you interact with these lights here. And then while I wait for my opponent's turn, I'll just play a bit of Fruit Ninja. There we go. Alright. Wait for that to grow a little. He just plays a 2-mana 1/1. Alright, cool, opponent. Cool. Very cool indeed. We'll ramp as well, and wish my opponent good luck. And I'll play Fruit Ninja again. Wait for the fruit to grow, and let's see what else my opponent does. There we go. And there. And then we'll... Apparently, these weapons here are references to Overwatch characters, apparently. Especially the sword. I believe this one belonged to Genji, and then the arrows belong to Hanzo. I'm not quite sure who the shuriken belongs to, but I'm assuming it's also from Genji because he's the quote-unquote ninja samurai between the two. And I forget if they're brothers. I remember in Overwatch lore that 2 of the characters were siblings. I just don't remember the exact the exact names of who was who. Okay. Now is a good time as any to play Phelan, and let's see what we get. Well, we will eventually see what we get, so we'll get there when we get there. So let's wish my opponent good luck. We're not exactly drawing well, but my opponent is not doing anything too threatening either, so there is that. Let's see what else my opponent does here. So we're just gonna fish for something first, and you never really capture any of these according to the research that I did. It's just you fish it out, then it pulls it back in. So the only thing that you can do here repeatedly is to play Fruit Ninja. And of course, getting your ADHD brain to just be satisfied with all of this. Okay, opponent is finally showing his true colors. He is playing Imbue a Paladin. I'm assuming he reduced that to 1 health so that he can trade evenly with this, but come on, opponent. I'll play Nomelia here. There we go. Get rid of... I am more than willing to get rid of that in order to kill you. So, Sure, that's fine. You're gonna trade into that anyway, or you can ignore that, and I will ignore it. So, do we have a mutual agreement here, opponent? I'm assuming we don't, because you're my opponent, and my opponents are usually out to kill me. So there is that. My imbue. I think it's safe to assume that my opponent is just playing this deck for the first time because they're taking the sweet time, or it could be lag issue. And their name is interesting. Elemental 1980. Who? Okay, to be expected, they ignored my board and then they switched for my face. Youthful Brewmaster bouncing back the Flutterwing. Wait, what's the name of that thing again? Flutterwing Guardian. There we go. Using Grime Street Outfitter. Okay, probably buffing the minion that they just bounced back and a few others. Okay, we'll play Amir Drasil. We'll draw one card. Go. Now, who do we get? Combo. Game +1/+1. Could be better. I guess we just keep ramping. And then we'll use Invigorate here to draw one card. We get even more ramp. Where the hell are our minions? Oh my god. Phelan just put 3 Colossals in the bottom of the deck. I didn't shuffle my deck, goddammit. I'm gonna look for a triple with Bob the Bartender here once it comes back around to my turn. Good god. Okay, Sunspot Dragon, deal 6 damage. That could have gone to my face, but okay, opponent. That is fine by me. I take a bit of damage from that. Sure, that is fine. Naturalize. Hold on, I'll do with you in a bit. We're gonna find a triple and hope we draw a minion that counts. That's a minion that counts, but we're gonna get rid of this minion with 6 attack first. So. Then we swing in for 1. There you go, opponent. We're gonna heal next turn with the Pendant of Earth, potentially. Although we're not exactly in too much danger. What we can do next turn is play Marin the Manager, play the Wondrous Wand, draw a bunch of cards, and we'll see where we go from there. Opponent is okay playing Bitter Bloom Knight. They must have only drawn that for turn because it's not buffed in the slightest. What needs to be answered though is the stuff that my opponent is doing on board. I guess we can use one of the Marins to... Well, there's Aviana. Where the hell were you? We'll draw 2 cards, see what we get. Okay, I probably should have played a card first because I keep forgetting that it also... Amir Darcel also restores mana. So, we're gonna play Marin. And then we're gonna get the Crown. Then we're gonna see what legendaries we get out of it. I'm assuming it's going to be something decent. Well, it is decent. Oh my god. I mean... Why? How could I say no to the god of randomness? Oh my god. Granted, this deck doesn't exactly have a lot of spells, but the spells that I do have are, well, you can say pretty goddamn decent. So, okay, they got another Flutterwing Guardian. That is fine. We will need to restore our health very soon, but I'm assuming my opponent's going to deal with my board first because these are huge. Summon 3 Scarabs. Would I want that? Okay, bouncing it back to hand again. Swinging in. There we go. Alright. That is fine by me, opponent. Shuffle Emerald Dream Portals. That is fine. Poison Seeds. That is fine, but not exactly what I want at this current juncture. So we'll get Marin again. Then for this one, we'll get the Wondrous Wand. But I am not going to draw cards yet because I just realized my hand is full. So we'll do that, and then we'll remove their pesky blocker out of the way. Then we'll swing in for, I don't know, 13 damage. So now my opponent is going to have to deal with this. And if it comes back around to me, I will play Aviana and then use the wand. So there is that. I already drew Caesar's Expanse, so I won't be able to heal for too much because a lot of the minions in my deck are like one cost anyway. So I am not going to be able to do too much here. Okay, opponent wiping my board a little. That is fine. We got 3 Scarabs, so yeah. Bitter Bloom Knight, sure. Opponent, by the way, has not used this this for the entire game. So there's that. Opponent finally emoting, but I don't think it matters. So we get Aviana. Go. Yes, fill the sky with this cascade of sparkles. Then we get Xavius. See who we draw, quote unquote. Oh, we got Maestra. Triggers twice. I think I'd already get hell yeah. There we go. And she gets shuffled to the top of the deck. There we go. Then we'll draw with Wondrous Wand. So she'll become a 1-cost. Oh, she's still a 1-cost. That is interesting. We got Gigafin. Hello. So we do this. Then we go with Helia. There we go. Then we draw 3 cards. And gain 3 armor. Gain back 3 mana. 1, 2, and 3. What do we get? What do we get? What do we get? We got Finlay. Discover a minion in my deck. I half expected it to everything to only be 1, so we'll get Falric. I mean, we'll just burn whatever comes up next, and that is unfortunate. But I already achieved what I needed to, what I wanted to achieve, so I'm already happy here. Opponent will now just have to deal with my board. If they can even deal with my board. Okay, cool. Fluttering Guardian. He has been bouncing that to and from his hand this entire game. And finally, he has a portal in the works. Okay, cool. That's a legendary because they usually have fanfare. Okay. Sadly, he doesn't get his battle cry. So Nithhogg is not going to do a lot in this board. I mean, if I just get past everything else, my opponent's gonna die. If it even comes to that. Okay, Crusader Aura. Oh, that's gonna sting. Okay then, opponent. Okay then. Okay then. I see where you're going. I see where you're coming from. I know your game plan. Okay. Let's see. I mean, although granted, my opponent's minions are still sleeping, so I may still win here, so we'll see. I think my opponent's doing math. See what attacks are profitable. Oh my god. Okay. Oh, that would have been good, Lorthamar. That would have been good in my hand. And there we go. So those are damaged. We use this here. Then we use... Yeah, we'll twirl. There we go. This into this. Do we YOLO it? Yes! We YOLO it. We YOLO it. Let's see what we get. Storm Strike. 3 damage to a minion. Well, shit. Ow. I kinda expected that. Okay. We're gonna get 2 8-cost minions with Taunt and Elusive. That's gotta be good. Life-saving aura, sure. We'll draw a beast. Okay. Give a minion +2/+2. Give my beast +2/+2. Why did I get 3 attack, by the way? what did I do? Oh god, we are... Oh god, will my opponent die? Oh god. I got Quasar. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, I got Quasar. Oh my god. Yes. 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 This is my kind of gameplay. Yes. There we go. That's fine. That's fine. Ragnaros the Light Lord. Okay, cool. That is insane. I literally gained back nearly all of my lost health. My opponent's down to 1. I have no idea if they can even get out of this. What the fuck just happened? Oh my god. I should craft this guy when I have the dust for it. But this jank deck of mine doesn't have enough spells. It doesn't have enough. If I'm going to put Yogg Saron in a deck, it has to be like extremely spell centric, and I think Imbue Druid is the best place to do that. Since that deck in particular has a lot, and I mean a lot of spells. Or it could also be Mage, and Mage will be getting Discover support in the upcoming set, so I may play Mage again, thanks to Daddy Yogg Saron here. So there is that. But we did get Ragnaros the Light Lord, so we can get a little bit of healing. Opponent's still fighting, they're still going strong, but I don't know if they can even survive the onslaught that is coming their way. So I guess we'll just move on to the next game.
Alfurion versus Mulganis!
Up against Warlock, so Walker the Great. Ooh, that's a reference and a half. But my opening hand is insane. We're gonna have so much mana by turn 2. I do not know what to do with it because we do not have any card draw in hand whatsoever. Good God. We'd better get that card draw. Well, that's card draw technically, but I wish it were better. So we're gonna see what my Warlock opponent has in store for us here. So we're gonna fiddle around with those sticks a little, then we're gonna pick up this rock immediately, then toss it into the tank, then watch it blow up and ruin the structure right here. Eventually it will ruin the structure, but at the moment it's not going to. Poke out, okay, that's usually an indicator of unfair bullshit. So I guess my opponent just wants risk-free practice for his Warlock deck, and we're gonna find out what it is shortly. Is Reborn? Do I want that? Or when I play it, I summon a 2/2 copy. I think I'd rather get Aviana because the entire deck is built around her, so I think I'd rather want that instead. Let's see, and we're gonna keep messing with the tank here. Go. And there isn't exactly too much else to interact with in this particular board. You know, just get the boulder onto the catapult. Then if you fiddle around with the arrows long enough, a barrage of arrows will rain down on that location, like so. Okay, my opponent discarded a few cards. I don't know why they would do that. So we'll ramp a bit more, then we'll play Aviana. There we go. Then I will swing in for 1 point of Demaggio on my opponent. There we go, and have Polkelt deal with Sky Mother Aviana there. Let's see. I mean, my opponent hasn't exactly shown too much. Oh, it's probably Demon Warlock? Question mark. Well, my opponent hasn't exactly cast too much, so we're gonna find out what it is. Sphere of Sapiens, okay. I am interested in whatever it is you're selling now, opponent. I did not expect that in the slightest. I wonder what my opponent's on. I can only wonder what my opponent is on. We have not crafted a single item, unfortunately. So you're gonna have to wait there, Ignis. We're gonna swing in for 1, and I guess you're just a beater. So, and I don't think we'll be forging anything this game. So, you're just a 1 mana 2/4. So, and that's actually pretty like on rate, quote unquote, especially in today's game. If they kill Aviana here, then whenever this... Oh! Okay, it's a combo deck. Okay, so they're gonna give that to me. Then they're gonna damage it and discard your highest cost. Okay, 90 damage, and I dead. Okay, okay. It's that kind of combo deck. Right. I have heard of this. I never thought I'd see it in action. So, there is also that. But... we're gonna cut it here. That was an amazing set of games. Seeing Trogzor doing his thing, as some players have envisioned, definitely was worth capturing on video. And of course, everything else just there was a one game where Nomelia literally took over the game, so there is that. She's definitely a good last-minute addition to this deck. Just additional removal is always nice. And if you guys like what you saw, hit like, comment, subscribe, and share this among your friends. And until next time. Toodles.